Today's question in Adam asks is, do cheap houses get bad tenants?
Any house can get a bad tenant. Bad landlords attract bad tenants.
Yep.
Number one thing
Yep.
from a landlord, giving them the keys, and of course they will take it. You get a piece of paper, and that piece of paper is insurable. Hi, I'm Jess.
I'm Adam.
And we are forthelandlords.com. We help landlords get more money, reduce the hassle, and get their time back.
Indeed.
Slick at that.
We do indeed. Now, today's question in Adam asks is, do cheap houses get bad tenants?
I love this question.
Yeah, go on
I
then.
do, yeah. No.
No what?
No, they don't.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. That's what you mean. Yeah, no. So, what houses get bad tenants then? If cheap houses don't, what do?
Any house can get a bad tenant. And I believe, personally, and I've seen it, bad landlords attract bad tenants.
Yeah, agree.
And bad letting agencies let them go in.
Yeah, they accept them.
And over time, a good tenant can become a bad tenant. The price of the house makes little to no difference. When you're referencing, if you've got a more expensive house, it is true that you'll probably get a higher caliber of earnings, landlord, tenant, whatever. But arguably, there's just the same risk, maybe more risk, because that landlord, that tenant can cause you more problem, can't they? So, and we've seen that as well. In an expensive house, when a tenant is bad or turns bad, then absolutely can become a problem. I think it's more important to talk about the reasons why and what you can do about it and what you should as a landlord be doing about it.
Yeah,
so
I think we'll talk about providing your tenant with a decent, safe home.
Number one thing. No good tenant will take a crappy house.
Yeah.
The other way around is not true. A crappy tenant will take you a good house, so
Definitely.
of course. But number one thing, from a landlord's point of view, there is a decent and safe home. There's a product I'm proud of, and we'll together, tenant and landlord, uphold that standard. Let's keep it there.
Anything in life, people want to look after something that's nice.
Yep.
Give them a nice home, they'll look after it.
So that's number one.
You need to reference them well.
Number two, you've got to choose them. Like I say, lovely shiny house. Along comes, let's just bad tenant, whatever, put a label on it. And if you don't reference them, then well, you will be giving them the keys, and of course they will take it. The other way around, like I say, doesn't work. But it's like a filtering system, isn't it? Like you're coming down the layers. Good house, number one. Number two, you've got to reference them really well. Our tenants, they either have to be working and have good credit, and when I say working, their income has to be matched to the
affordability. They have to pass the affordability check.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
that's fair for them too.
Yeah, but don't get them into a bad situation. If they're not working or they have got bad credit, they can get a guarantor, and again, that's fair. You've got somebody who will sponsor them. Working slightly more because they need to cover their own stuff and the tenant stuff. Good credit and a homeowner. Something that's worth mentioning right now is, because I don't think enough letting agencies talk about it or enough landlords know about it, maybe letting agencies wouldn't talk about it, but referencing, you get a piece of paper and that piece of paper is insurable. Now, if you give that piece of paper to an insurance company and they say, that piece of paper means nothing to me, it's gobbledygook, it's homemade, then you know that it's not worth the paper it's written on. A proper referencing piece of paper, you should be able to get rent and legal cover and tenancy insurance if they don't pay. It usually costs about £15-20 a month, something like that. So it's something that we could sort out for you if you wanted. But if you can't get that, because letting agencies say, we do in-house, or we check Facebook. I mean, those might be useful things, might be nice tests, but if it's not worth it, if you can't get insurance on it, it's not real. Letting agencies can also turn around the criteria that people will get in under, and that means that letting agency will let more. And that kind of leads us
into the next thing you need to do, right? Is your paperwork has to be perfect.
Correct.
Perfect paperwork.
Yeah. If it's one of those, it's a sleeper. If you get it wrong, it will sit in a filing cabinet, and you might, if you're lucky, fingers crossed, not have to use it. But the day you have to use it, the day that you found out that perfectly referenced tenant wasn't quite right, or something changed, or maybe they lost their job, something happened, I don't know, whatever it was. But you need to take some action. It might not be eviction, but it might be something you need to do. If you haven't got every single I dotted and T's crossed and all the little check boxes that you need. I think that we added it up. There's hundreds of them that you need to be aware of. There's definitely 17 processes for one tenancy move-in. It looks easy, but it's not. Then you can't take any action. They're stuck. So that perfect paperwork is absolutely key.
Do you want to give the viewers a quick...
Oh, the proof. The reason that I answered it so definitively, and I'll tell you, you've heard the story before, I know, but maybe you haven't, maybe you have. We buy houses. I'm a landlord, I buy houses. I have bought many houses from many landlords, and one particular one sticks in my mind because he told me he was selling up, at the time I was buying in Nottingham, on one particular street, I'm selling up because... this area.
Bad area. You only get bad people.
That was it.
He perceived it as a quote unquote rough area.
Yep. I think we bought 45 properties off this one chap. And his
plan for clients,
his plan was to condense them all down, and they were bad houses and did have bad tenants. So there was no two ways about it. That what he was experiencing was true.
Because his houses were in bad shape.
Correct.
So bad people lived in them. And he wanted to then
go
buy half as many
took that money,
perceived nicer area.
Correct. Yeah. And we bought the houses, so just so you know how it turned out for us, we made them into decent and safe homes. We attracted the right tenants. It took a little bit longer. You know, instead of taking 3 or 4 days, it took a week or 2. And if they didn't pass referencing, we chuck them back and put them in. But we got good tenants.
Value and equity at the same
time.
Correct.
Of course, yeah. And I have still own those houses now, and they make good money.
What happened to the ones who went on to buy?
I bumped into him about 2 years later, and he had exactly the same face on him. He was still a miserable landlord. It wasn't working, and he still had crap tenants, in his own words. It was the way he managed the properties, the way he kept them.
Is it?
A good tenant can turn bad as well. You know, if you have a great house, and we see this, we see landlords that need rescue. The house is immaculate. We've got the inventory, but the boiler broke. And they didn't fix it, or they didn't do something, or they didn't.
Exactly.
And let's face it, for lots of landlords, even when it's all going smooth and everything's fine, it can be fine. Even if you've got one house, something going wrong can be too much for somebody with a full-time job, you know. If you've got 2 or 3, it definitely is. When stuff starts going wrong, you've got to be in there, you've got to react, you've got to pick up the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you've got to fix that heating when it's -2 outside. Otherwise, guess what? You haven't got a bad tenant, you've got a mad tenant, and they want the boiler fixing. So yeah, some of it is the way that landlords react to this kind of stuff. So
if you're experiencing a problem with one of your properties, then we have a landlord rescue service.
You're pitching.
Book to meet us.
Pitching.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
I'm proud of it.
Absolutely.
We can fix those problems. We're good at it. Book to meet us in the link below, and tell us about the problem you're experiencing, and I'll tell you the solution we've got to fix it.
Yeah. It's our proudest thing. Yeah, we will take you through a call. Adam will, and his team will, and we'll take you around our success wheel.
The reality is, if you've got a full-time or even a part-time job, there's no way you can manage and optimise a property portfolio without help.
Yeah. Absolutely true. More, if you want to scale, you definitely can't, and it will be holding you back. So I believe personally it's the reason that most landlords only own one house. It's never been 2. The average is 1 and a bit. Of course, accidental landlords play into that a lot, but even accidental landlords, they're looking and there's something in this. I like it, I want to buy more, but they never do. Something like 70% of all landlords say, I want to buy more properties, but they don't. Our average landlord owns 8 properties. So what we do works, and it's because they get that support. They've got the ability to scale because they've got the support underneath them. Otherwise, it's going to hold you back.
Follow the link below, book to meet us, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Anything else that these lovely people need to do? Watch the other videos, actually. Go back and watch the other stuff.
Watch more, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But cheap houses do not attract bad tenants.
Definitely not.
Manage them right and everything will be fine. Bye for now.
Simple as that.